Hi friends, and welcome back to Lemon Tree Corner. I am your host Heather, and we do crafty things here. So welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're not. So I run a small handmade business called Lemon Tree Corner, and these videos are a look inside my studio. So we just finished our big push for the year and did our Rhinebeck West event at the Knitting Tree LA. So that's done. We've got everything up on the website and ready to order. So if you saw something you liked, you can check the website and see if it's still up there if you want to buy it for yourself or for somebody as a Christmas present. I'll put my website right down here below. It's lemontree.com/shop. So go on over and check it out. I've also got some Christmas stitch markers if you're interested in that. So this week in the studio, you will see me preparing, taking all the product photos and getting everything up on the website. And then as a reward, I'm going to be making a bag for myself. So when I was recently on vacation, I bought some souvenir fabric. We got this beautiful mushroom fabric, and I'm going to pair it with this little polka dot for the bottom. So I'm going to make a sweater size project bag, and then this fabric is going to be for the inside. And then I saved myself one of the beautiful zippers with the with the leaf pull to be on that. So this is the sweater size bag. This is my spring sweater size bag with the gnomes on it. They're so cute. And we've got a new project to start. So I will put a picture up here of what it is. It's like a granny chevron stripe blanket that I saw that I loved. So we have Karen macchiato cakes that we're going to be using to make these stripes. This is the same yarn that she used. I went out and bought all the yarn that she used. I think there was one I couldn't find, so I've got a different one for the border. But we have all these beautiful fall colors. So this one is Boundless. These are all 80% acrylic, 20% wool, and Lovely, just nice. And then I think this was the same color, Lovely. So I got two Lovelies because I couldn't find the color she used as the border, so I'm just going to use this one as the border. So we've got all our yarn that I want to transfer over to a new sweater bag. And all that yarn came from Michael's, so yeah, pretty affordable there for the cakes, and I hope I'm going to enjoy working with it. So that's our reward for doing the show. I have another show I might be doing in December, but we will see how I feel. I'm kind of burnt out right now. So we'll see if things sell nicely on the website, then I'll just start thinking about next year. We also have to put everything away, so I use the dining room table as my prep table, my cutting station, and then I have my desk in here as well. I have my work desk in here as well because I work from home on Wednesdays. So all of that needs to be cleared off to make room for Thanksgiving, so we can open the table all the way up. And then the desk will be going back in the office space where my husband works out of, and we'll be able to put all of that together. I've also got two sweaters that I would like to get blocked. Yeah, like two shawls too that I need to block at some point. So I would like to try and get that done before we move the desk in there, because once we move the desk in there, that's the only place I would have been able to set up a table to block all of my projects. So we got lots to do before Thanksgiving, and then that desk will just stay in the office over Christmas, and we'll put the Christmas tree in the corner. So that will be nice, and gearing up for all of that means no sewing. So basically I probably have about 2 weeks where I'm not getting any sewing done, and then we're cleaning up after Thanksgiving. We have an after Thanksgiving thing that we do at my mom's house, and then back here to decorate for Christmas. So I probably won't get any sewing done until the first week of December. I do have 2 weeks off around the holidays, so hoping to get plenty done then, but I don't know. And we also just celebrated my birthday at the end of last month. So happy birthday to me. I am now 52 years old. So hoping for this perimenopause thing to move along because I'm kind of over it. When is this going to be over? I don't know. And I'm also going to try the new filming style. So as we talked about last week, I really want to try filming my vlogs in a different way. They've really just kind of been me stepping you through the process of making a bag, and I'm kind of done with that. I think you've all learned what you're going to learn about the bags that I make, because I plan on making the same bags over and over again from this point forward. So I think we're going to make it more of just a splattering of different things throughout the week that you can take a look at, that's not so much focused on the actual bag. Of course I will be making a bag, but I'm not going to take you step by step through the process. So it's going to be more of what's going on in my life and sharing that with you, along with all the crafts that I do. So I hope that sounds fun to you. And if that sounds fun to you, go ahead and grab yourselves a cozy beverage or a water. Here's my corny mug. I had to get it. You know I had to. Curl up and let's make ourselves a bag. So after the stress of doing the show, because I am an introvert, we decided to go on a walk with the dogs at my favorite park in Seal Beach. So this is, I've told you before, this is where the electric line used to go down the middle of the city, and they've turned that into this beautiful park. We don't have really any fall leaves changing in Southern California, at least not like near the beach where I live. So this is really the one place where you can get some crunchy leaves underfoot. And this is my favorite gnarly tree in the park. So it's nice to just de-stress after the show and take a day and be out in nature, which is always a good grounding for me. Okay, so we're going to get started on our sweater project. So this is 18 and a quarter inches wide by 16 inches tall. So that's our finished size, and we've got our beautiful fabrics here. So what I'm going to do is, this is going to be the main fabric, and this is going to be the bottom and the handles, and then this is going to be the interior fabric with this little mushroom pathway going on there. So I have to iron and spray starch these three, get all the pieces cut out. I'm still having issues with my best press, so I like having some sort of starch alternative to do with this. It's either that or I just have to steam it to get it to kind of pre-shrink, but I do like adding some sort of starch to this. So I switched over to a different flavor, which was Caribbean Beach, which is my favorite. And I pretty much already fill it half with distilled water and half with the Best Press. So I'm not sure why I'm still having the issue with the stickiness. And this doesn't seem to have a glossy thing, but every once in a while I definitely have like this flaky stuff coming off. So let me know if you have an alternative. I think one of you made a suggestion in a previous video of something you use instead of Best Press. But just curious if there's something else out there I should be trying. I've got, of course, 2 huge containers of this in the non-flavored and the Caribbean Beach. So just wondering if I should, maybe I should just dilute it more, not quite sure. And then we have a new project to start. So this is a bag I made quite a while ago. I'll have to look up what it is. It's the Maker's Kit or something like that. So we have a brand new project we are gonna try making. Comes with a chart that I can't show you. So this is the Autumn Breeze scarf. So we're going to be using our Karen Macchiato cake, which is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. So this is the same yarn base that I'm using for that new blanket we're going to start after that we're going to put in this bag. And this is in the colorway Turbo Turquoise. So it's just got these beautiful muted blues, which, you know, is technically my favorite color, but I don't have a lot of projects with the blue. I think I've only made like one scarf with the like a nice darker blue and one scarf with a light blue, so this will be nice. And it's just a nice repeating pattern here. I probably won't make the tassels because that's just not my style. So she's using a size 4 yarn, and this is a size 5, but I think we'll be fine because this is a 6mm hook. She's using a 6mm hook, and I just used a 6mm hook for the scarf I made with one of the Karen cakes. So I think we'll be okay there. So I'm gonna get this started tonight after we do the fabric. Time to put away the Hawaiian quilt from summer and put on our fall bedspread. So I'm going to give this a good wash and put it away. I just love the liner that I picked for this is sea turtles. I love sea turtles. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Beautiful, and then you can see the quilting lines on that. Very pretty. I have some periwinkle thread in the machine. This is going to go perfectly with this. So I'm just going to stick to blue. And we're going to sew all of our bits together. I think if I have time this afternoon, I'm going to go to the fabric store, see if we can find some fabric for my friend's bag. And then I feel like I'm in such good shape that we might be able to make some Christmas bags. So I've got my Christmas bag, and then I want to go through and organize some other Christmas bags we can make. I don't know if they're going to be up for sale this Christmas. If I'm able to make enough of them before the holidays starts, maybe. I don't know. I don't know that I'll have them done by December 1st in order to post anything, but it would be fun just for content for you, for me to make some Christmas bags during the Christmas season. So maybe we'll just do that, and we'll, I'm 95% sure we're going to be doing Fiber Fair next year, and I'm going to need bags from all seasons for that. So if we make some Christmas bags now, then maybe we do Christmas in July kind of thing. Later on next year, then I'll have some Christmas bags for sale. The fair is usually towards the end of November, so it's a perfect time to have Christmas stuff. What I was thinking of, it's a 10 by 10 booth space. So I was thinking I could do like a wall of spring, summer, fall, and winter. So kind of do more like 3 walls, because spring and summer are very similar. But maybe some holiday stuff like the St. Patrick's Day fabric, that kind of thing. So a little bit of every holiday, and then some nice springy, summery fabrics, some fall, and some winter. So that's the plan as of right now. I don't know where I would be storing these all. We're still planning on doing the make and post. So I would be making several bags, posting them on the website, and advertising that on here and Instagram. So that's the plan for next year anyway. So we might just start doing that now. So we might make a few Christmas bags, post them in the shop, first week of December so that somebody's able to buy them. I don't want to push myself too hard. I do really want a break at this point. And I do kind of want to nest for the rest of the year and kind of relax. But obviously I can't stay away from sewing, so I'm going to be sewing something. Might as well be sewing Christmas bags.
It's not about you, their own internal dreams. Leave them be, good or bad. Please don't assume.
So I didn't have enough to do the complete repeat at the end, but I didn't want to waste all that yarn, so I just did as much as I could with what I had left. So at least it doesn't end on the bobbles. I've got like a row and a half here, so that's going to have to do. It looks like Lucy's wearing a scarf. Are you wearing a scarf, babes? Let's try it that way, shall we? We've got Stitch in the background. So yeah, I really like this one. It's not very long, and I can't knot it. But other than that, I really like it. Yay! Turned out very nice. I love the little baubles. So this is kind of like the baubles that are going to be on the sweater pattern I picked out, which I think will be really fun on a sweater as well. We are back again, and this time we are making some split pea soup with ham. I should have saved one of those ham hocks from a couple weeks ago for this. But I just have one of those ham steaks. Feeling very fall. We went on a nice walk with all the fall trees in my favorite park, so that was nice. And feeling calm and ready to get this weekend started. Done. I went ahead and I just added in the rest of the split peas because it was looking kind of soupy, and so I just added those in and cooked it for a little bit longer and crushed most of them up against the sides. It's still a little too liquidy, but we'll condense down as we go, and I could keep boiling it and boil away some of the liquid as well. Tastes really good. I think I'm just gonna add some more pepper. And then we've got our usual Trader Joe's sourdough. I think next time I go back, I'm gonna get more of the rustic bread or the focaccia, because lots of salads coming, lots of soups in my future here. So let's put a little salt on that as well, and we're ready to go. Yum, yum. I've still got quite a ways to go on the autumn blanket before I start this blanket that's going in this bag, but that's okay. And it's supposed to start raining tomorrow, so I'm excited to get some rain. Hopefully we'll get a lot of rain. It still hasn't really cooled down a lot, but definitely be fun to have some real rain. There we have it, a beautiful, beautiful bag. So I'm going to go ahead and put my yarn in here, and we'll be all ready for starting the blanket when the time comes. Yay! So I wanted to share some updates with you on the yarning projects that we have coming up. We'll do a quick tour of those projects and pick out which one I want to do next, which I think I already know which one I want to do next. So first off, as soon as I finish that autumn blanket, we're going to start our second autumn blanket. I'm very close to finishing it. So excited to start this autumn blanket with the bag that we're making this week. And then the next project I have is the last sweater yarn that I have bought to make a sweater with. I was going to make another hexie cardigan, but I don't really want to do that. So I feel like I've already done that. I already have one of those, and the yarn is very similar, so I'd like to do something else. So we've got the Tea Time yarn by Hobie, and this is in colorway, oh that's hard to read, it just says 08. So this is colorway 08, which I know has a real name, Darjeeling, or I think the other one was Darjeeling, but it's basically like in between a fingering and a DK weight, but it's this beautiful yarn. And I already had this skein that I got free from like a little meet and greet with our Barocco rep. So this is Barocco Ultra Alpaca. This is the same yarn I used for that green sweater, it's just in a different color. And this is 50% superfine alpaca and 50% Peruvian wool. And this is color 6294. It's just beautiful teal, one of my favorite colors in the world, and it just happened to match with this. So I'd like to use this for the ribbing, just to add some contrast. The Tea Time is 100% acrylic, so this is actually perfect, Kelly, for if you wanted to make those squares or rectangles. I think these would really be nice. And so I found a pattern to make with this. It's the Goldfinch sweater. Look at that, it's so pretty, and it's got all these little baubles, which is fun. And it looks pretty easy. I'll have to look up and see if there's a YouTube tutorial. I strongly doubt it. This is just a written pattern, but it seems fairly straightforward. We're just making two rectangles, and I just have to do the neckline differently. And then there's the ribbing around everything. So she did 3/4 length sleeves and kind of like a little cropped sweater. I would definitely wear this probably more as a top. Probably more as a top. So I don't know. I might want to make full length sleeves. It'll all depend on how much yarn we have, because I'll definitely want it to go down like mid-hip, not too long, but definitely a little bit longer than whatever shirt I was going to wear underneath it. But it looks totally cute. So this is, she's got sizes from like small to 5X, and then this is totally adjustable. So she tells you how to adjust the size, add however much ease you want in it, and all that fun stuff. So I'm excited. I think this is the next project that we are going to start. And I've got 3 balls of that, so I think I can make as big of a sweater as I want. We have our cute little gingerbread house bag that we made, so I'll probably start it in this, and then I'll have to move up to a sweater bag when we get larger. The other thing I have is this huge stack of wool I bought from the store up in Cambria back when I was feeling very adventurous. So I downloaded this Expression Fiber Arts pattern, very complicated, before I realized that I really need a video for her patterns. So I was kind of like, I don't think I can make that. And it's wool, and it's like a very tight weave, And I'm like, I'm in Southern California, how often am I going to need this? And so I've been looking for a pattern to do with this, because it's this beautiful yarn. So I got 3 different colors, kind of like a little fade. So this is Alpaca Heather by Manos del Uruguay, and this is 70% wool and 30% alpaca. It's pretty soft though, so I think it'll work. And I finally found a pattern I think will work with this yarn, and that is Ma's Prairie Shawl by Crab Apple Crafts. Look at it, it's so pretty. So it's wrap around. It's got 2 little I-cords that go onto the end, so it's a triangle shawl. And it just has that nice detail. Let me see if I can get a better picture for you of the detail. So it's got like this little eyelet detail in there, which I think would be fun. I don't know, I might move the eyelet around depending on how much yarn, because I basically have the same amount of 2 of the colors, or maybe 3 of the colors, so I probably wouldn't be using all of it, but I really do want to start with this dark kind of chocolatey maroon winey color. So this is Bing Cherry. It's a super dark kind of winey color. So I want to start with that and transition into the other 2 colors, but I think what I would like to do is have that eyelet in between each color. So I'll probably have to adjust where that lies. But excited to do that one. And then the other one we have to do, I'll put a picture up here, the Galatea top. So I've got 2 sets of yarn that we can use for that. I've got this beautiful grape porter wool yarn that I got. So this is fingering weight, 75% superwash, 25% nylon, and it's called Gilbert Grape. It's just this beautiful dark grape color. So I've got 4 skeins of that, and I also have 4 skeins of the other yarn. Well, I don't know where I put the other yarn, but I'll put a picture of it up here. So it's called Blue Hawaiian, like the drink, and it's beautiful. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing 2 of the same pattern with these yarns or one or the other. I think I'm going to start with the Blue Hawaiian because it looks easier to work with as far as seeing my stitches and everything. But we might make 2 of these tops, or I might find a totally different top pattern. And the last project on my list is this beautiful top. I don't know if I'm going to be using this pattern or a different pattern that's like it, but something similar to that with the granny squares. And I got this beautiful yarn at the last yarn crawl by Olive Fiber. It's called Gorgeous Gourd, get it? So this is fingering weight, so I need to find, this will be like the smallest part of it, and then, you know, the background color. So I love the idea of yellow and gray together, but this has like some speckly kind of darker like gray navy bits. So I might look for like a gray navy color or just a light mid-gray to go with this, but I think that would be beautiful. So looking forward to making that at some point also. So the 3 tops I don't really need to worry about until next year. So I'm going to start on the sweater and maybe that shawl for the cozy season, because those are things, if I get them made, that I can wear in December, January, February. It doesn't really warm up. I always forget that January and February are pretty cold around here. So if I get them done, I can wear them for January and February. And then of course we have our amigurumi projects that I'm supposed to be working on. So I will try and do those as well. We've got the Mabel chicken, which will hopefully be a starter to lead me up to the emotional support chicken that I bought at Yarn Crawl last year. So this one is, which one is this one? This is Chikira. So it's got these beautiful oranges and reds. So I'm nervous about doing this. My sister said there's a full tutorial on YouTube, so that'll be helpful. But I think I'm going to start with the Mabel chicken and maybe the jellyfish, because I have the chenille bulky yarn that we can use for both of those, and that kind of gets me used to the idea of amigurumi before I tackle Chikira. So, well, that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed everything we've been up to, and hopefully a new filming style if I was brave enough to try it on this video. We finished our bag. So we got the beautiful mushroom bag with the polka dots and super big. I'm not going to be able to fit all the yarn in here because I've got like over 2 cakes for each color, but I can get started in this one. So thrilled to start our little granny chevron blanket that we're going to make in this bag. I've still got a few rows on the other one, and we've got our tea going, so I still have a few rows on the other blanket to finish before we can start this blanket. I promised myself I was gonna finish the blanket. I don't want 2 blankets on the go at the same time. And then excited to start some other crochet projects during our downtime right now. So it's not really downtime, but I'm gonna try and take it easier. And I like to have 3 projects. I like to have a couch project, a work project, and then a to-go project. So if I ever need to wait for an appointment or go for a car drive with my husband or something, I have something I can take there, and then I like to leave a project at work for my lunch hour. So very excited about that. Make some new projects. I also have my Agatha reading shawl that I think I need to add something to. It's definitely getting cooler in the house now. We brought out the heaters, and I was sitting on the couch the other day and my shoulders were getting cold, and I gotta break out the bathrobes and switch everything over at this point, and you know, break out all my sweaters and everything, and put the autumn comforter on the bed. So there's a lot of switcheroos that we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks, but I would love to wear my reading shawl on the couch, you know, while I'm sitting there watching TV or crocheting. So it's nice to have the blanket across my legs when I'm crocheting, but you know, my shoulders are getting cold. So I'm wondering if I can add some buttons to the reading shawl. Maybe that would help. I don't want to tear it apart. I really like it. I like the size of it. I like the style of it. I obviously don't want another project to do all over again with the yarn that I would be tearing apart. So maybe we can get some buttons. I do have these clasps that I use to hold things together, but it's metal and it just doesn't feel right for the couch. I have tried a wooden one before, but it's got like rough edges that catch on the yarn. So if you have any suggestions, pop it in the comments below, or if you think I should just get some small buttons and try and button them, or like those longer like frog buttons, I could do that as well, or even a frog closure, like I do have one of those actually. I have a fabric frog closure that I could sew onto that. Ooh, there's a good idea. So just excited to get into like real fall weather here in Southern California. So I hope it is nice, cozy weather where you are at, and that you are enjoying a nice cup of tea, and hope to see you back here next week when we go shopping, when we make a project bag for our retiree at work, and I have my Christmas bag I need to make as well. And then we need to go through all the Christmas fabrics, kind of plan out what size bags I'm going to make out of everything and get that started. Have to photograph all of these new fabrics that I don't have project sheets for, that we've bought over the last couple of months, and make project sheets for those and just kind of get organized. I've also got some old pairs of jeans and some old clothing pieces that I want to cut down and use as fabric, so that's probably something we're going to attempt at the beginning of next year. I've also got my whole cabinet full of fabrics from the very beginning when I first started this, pre-COVID, and all the scraps that we have left over, like the larger scraps that I need to organize and figure out what we're making out of those. So if we do Fiber Fair, if we do Fiber Fair next year, I need to really spend the beginning part of the year planning out what I'm making, because I'd really like to make a bunch of bags out of those larger scraps that I have, and maybe start making some coin purses and that kind of thing little by little, so that I'm not making like 100 coin purses in 1 week. So we need to spread things out a little bit and make some little projects in between. And And then that also helps me replenish the website and have like different things of each size in the website. So that's the plan. So I hope you join me here next week, and I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Love you, friends. Bye.